Hill, here. Mr. Christian.
Here.
And Mr. Rick.
Here.
All right, do we have a quorum? All right, thank you much. We're going to go into the announcements, but before we do the oath for today, I would like to read something to you all on behalf of Mr. Manford Reed. He was just a blessing to me when we changed hands, and from him being the chair to myself being the chair, he gave me one good instruction, and he says, lead them and lead them strong. So I said, that's what we'll do. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the life that he led. So I do want to read this to you all, and then I would like to give just a moment of silence for him. The Louisville Metro Housing Authority is deeply saddened. We're saddened by the passing of our board chair emeritus, Manford Reed, who passed away on October the 12th, 2025 at the age of 89. A lifelong advocate for justice, equity, and opportunity. Mr. Reed's decades of service transformed lives of thousands of individuals and residents for Louisville. Mr. Reed joined LMHA's Board of Commissioners in 1999, serving with distinction under 3 mayoral administrations for more than 23 years. He dedicated over 3 decades of his life to ensuring that all residents, especially those most in need, had access to safe, affordable, and inclusive housing. In recognition of his extraordinary leadership and unwavering commitment, he was named board chair emeritus upon his retirement from the board in 2022. Throughout his tenure, Mr. Reed championed initiatives that encourage collaboration between residents, law enforcement, and elected officials, believing that trust and accountability are essential to stronger communities. He consistently called on residents to take an active role in shaping the future of Louisville. Louisville Metro Housing Authority, we extend our deepest condolences to Mr. Reed's family and his friends. So let's take a moment of silence. Thank you for your moment of silence. He was an honorable man and he will be missed. All right, now we're going to move on with our announcements. We have Richard Nash, who's going to administer the oath to our newest board member, Ms. Meredith Allard.
Could you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me? I'll get too fast, let me know.
Okay.
I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true
and be faithful and true
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
so long as I continue
so long as I continue
a citizen thereof,
a citizen of thereof,
and that I will faithfully execute
and that I will faithfully execute
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
the office of Commissioner of the Louisville Metro Housing Authority,
the office of the Commissioner of the Louisville Metro Housing Authority
according to law.
according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear
And
or affirm
I do further solemnly swear or affirm
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
since the present adoption of the current Constitution,
I, being a citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of this state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons
within this state,
within the state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I sent
nor have I sent
or accepted
or accepted
a challenge to fight a duel
a challenge to fight a duel
with deadly weapons,
with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as second
nor have I acted as second
in carrying a challenge,
in carrying a challenge,
nor aided or assisted
nor aided or assisted
any person thus offending.
any person thus offending,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, we welcome you, Meredith, our newest board member. That means that you can vote with us on today. All right, we're going to move on to our public comment period, and we're going to turn it over to you, Elizabeth.
We don't have anyone signed up for public comment, so we can move on. But just going forward, if folks are watching, you can, yeah, thank you. Going forward, folks can always sign up on our website to speak or to attend one of these meetings. And folks can also submit any feedback, questions, comments for the board in writing to Vicki Buckman at buckman@lmha1.org.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any committee reports today? All right, I do want to make just one comment. We will be having our retreat on tomorrow. I hope to see all of the board members there, and just looking forward to that time with everyone. All right, let's move forward. The approval of the minutes. This is our regular board meeting that was held on September the 16th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve, please? May I have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been first and seconded. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, our board meeting minutes are now adopted and approved. Thank you so much. I'm also going to ask everyone if you would please, since we don't have the mics today, to speak up when you're making your motions. All right. All right. We're going to go with our resolution 5A, authorization for renewal of computer software. May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second? Okay, which two? Oh, it was you two. Okay. Thank you all. Ready for discussion?
Good afternoon. My name is Edward Masai, the Director of Information Technology. This resolution is a request to renew our computer software, which is Microsoft Office 365. A little bit background about the software. LMHA currently utilizes Microsoft Office 365 suites, provide essential business applications such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive. Currently, we are requesting approval for 250 Office 365 premium licenses, 40 Power BI, and 160 Exchange Online license, all part of Office 365. This subscription will also include Microsoft Defender and Entra, which provides protections against phishing, malware, and email-based threats. LMHA partners such as Food utilizes this software to ensure that it's compatible with most systems that we use and is also efficient, and it collaborates with many systems. This renewal will be done through the state contract, government contract. This ensures that we get competitive pricing and we are compliant. We are requesting a cost of up to $105,000. The alternative we have is either to approve this resolution or not to approve. The staff recommends you to approve, that way we can continue utilizing the software and don't get distracted with the business. Thank you. I'm ready to answer any questions you may have.
We need to amend this resolution. Any resolution.
Yes. Initially, the resolution, we had put in 285, which was only premium licensing. But actually, the staff we are using 250 premium licenses and 160 Exchange Online licenses, which is for our maintenance staff that don't need a premium.
That's interesting because that was the question I was gonna ask. Are you sure because I know that we needed to increase staffing. And so I just wanted to make sure that we got all of the licensing in there. So, but that's what it's for.
Yes.
So we do need to have an amendment.
So it's an amendment. Initially, it was only requested for 285,
Okay,
but we're actually using 250 for the staff. So for maintenance staff that don't need, a lot of functions on the premium, we are requesting 160 of those.
okay. Everyone, I hope you all have noted that.
The amount doesn't change.
The overall amount is what he's asking. Has it changed or is that still the 105?
Still the same amount. It's just that it was a net of typing 285, just doing the process.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions, concerns? All right. Now, I'm gonna ask you all to approve with the amendment of the number of licenses. All right? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? All right. Resolution 5A is now approved. Thank you. Resolution 5B. Adoption of new payment standards and utility chart effective January 1, 2026. May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second? Thank you. Ready for discussion?
Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Coulter, and I'm the Director of Leased Housing over the Section 8 program. I'm presenting the adoption of the new payment standards and the utility chart effective January 1st, 2026. As required by HUD, LMHA must update its payment standards each year to reflect the new small area fair market rents. These standards determine the maximum subsidy we can pay for families in our housing choice voucher programs, including home ownerships, project-based, emergency housing, stability, and BASH vouchers. For 2026, we're proposing payment standards to be set between 100% and 110% of the small area FMR, with the lowest income areas receiving the full 110%. This will help families better access quality housing while keeping rents affordable within our program limits. We're also proposing for our homeownership vouchers up to 110% of the small area FMR to reflect the higher cost of ownership. Project-based vouchers to be set at a higher of 100% or 110% of the small area FMR. And EHV or emergency housing vouchers, stability vouchers, BASH vouchers, all at 120% of the small area FMR to support the needs of the most vulnerable populations. In addition, LMHA is also introducing a simplified utility allowance using our MTW flexibility. Instead of the traditional complex utility chart, we'll be using a flat monthly amount based on the unit size. This simplifies the process, reduces errors, and gives tenants and landlords a clearer understanding of the total cost. Also want to point out, this is due to the government shutdown, this is also pending HUD approval. And should HUD not approve this, we would bring back our traditional utility charge and we would bring this back before. Staff is recommending approval of the new payment standards and the simplified utility chart to be effective January 1st, 2026 to ensure that we stay compliant with HUD and continue to meet our housing needs for our community. I'm open for any questions that you guys may have. So we have presented it in our MTW plan, and HUD has reviewed it. They sent back questions. We've answered those questions, but we're with the government shutdown, we're pending final.
Thank you.
And Jonathan, you said until we get that final approval, we're going to use our current amounts. Is that right?
Well, no, there's really no reason for HUD to not approve these as other MTW agencies are using these. So we were looking to move forward. We're hoping that the government shutdown will end prior to January 1st.
Oh, January.
But yeah, so this one does not go into effect until January.
We've got bigger problems if it doesn't happen.
Right, correct. That is correct.
All right. Do we have any other questions? All right, any other comments? All right, we're ready for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh Lord,
Opposed?
Any opposed? All right, any abstain? Thank you. Resolution 5B is now approved. Thank you. Resolution 5C. Yardi system work and income verification services. Amendment, addendum to agreement. May I have a motion, please? May I have a second? Thank you. It's been motioned and second, ready for discussion?
All right, good afternoon again. So in September of 25, LMHA put out a RFP for a work and income verification services. Our current contract with a different vendor expired on September 30th, 2025. So today I'm seeking your approval for an addendum to our existing agreement with Yardi Systems to integrate their work and income verification module into our housing choice voucher and public housing programs. HUD requires that all public housing and housing choice voucher participants undergo initial and annual certifications to determine housing assistance eligibility. A critical component of this process is obtaining accurate income and employment verifications. Currently, LMHA uses Yardi Systems for various functions, including applicant processing, tenant accounts receivable, accounts payable, general ledger, bank reconciliation, HUD reporting, inventory, and procurement. To further streamline our operations and reduce reliance on physical paperwork, we propose integrating Yardi's work and income verification module. This module will expedite verification process, ensure timely and accurate certifications. Upon approval, we anticipate having access to this module within 1 month. After a careful evaluation, staff recommends approving this agreement. Integrating this module aligns with our commitment and operational efficiency, regulatory compliance, and enhanced service delivery to our residents. The cost of the integration of the work and income verification module is not to exceed $216,000. This is a pay-as-you-go system, so it's not just a flat $216,000. This would include roughly 10,000 verifications over in a year is what we would be looking at. In conclusion, approving this addendum, this will enhance our operational capabilities, ensure compliance with HUD requirements, and improve service delivery to our residents. I respectfully request the board's approval to proceed with the integration of Yardi's work and income verification model. Thank you for your attention and consideration. I'm happy to address and answer any questions.
I only have one question. So what are we using Yardi for? We're using it for our financial side? Are we using it for
Yardi's used
HR?
for everything.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Yardi's pretty much used for everything under the housing choice voucher side, also for public housing. So we process all of our recertifications, interim changes, anything that's going on with a tenant is used Yardi. It's also, we pay out of Yardi, so all the landlord information, everything like that is in Yardi.
So you said the 216,000 and 10,000 certifications approximately, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
So that's $21.60 per certification. That seems like a pretty good price.
Yeah, so comparing Yardi to the other bids that we received, Yardi was right in line with another agency and $100,000 cheaper than our current vendor that we had that expired on September 30th.
I love having a numbers guy at the table. All right. Thank you. Does anybody else have any other questions, concerns? All right, we're ready for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? All right, resolution 5C is now approved. Thank you all so much. We're at the end of our resolutions. At this time, we're going to move into our board briefing by our Executive Director, Elizabeth Trojan.
Okay, thanks, everybody. I don't know. Oh, are you doing it? Or should I? Wait. Thank you all for your flexibility. The audiovisual equipment wasn't working on the 4th floor, so that's why we moved it up to our space. So glad that we have this space here to do things like this. This is a well-utilized room here at the Housing Authority. Thank you. Okay. Great. So I did just want to talk a little bit about the government shutdown because there are a lot of rumors out there, a lot of nervousness about what's happening. As you all know, LMHA is 90% federally funded. However, none of our programs are experiencing disruptions at this time. We were able to pay landlords in October. We have heard that HUD will pay us so that we can pay landlords for November. We initially heard that was true for December. Now there are some questions about that. Hopefully it doesn't drag on that long. Additionally, we have funding for our public housing side through mid-November. Now, if we were to run out of that, there's usually a lag in between when we spend that money and get reimbursed from HUD. So if this goes on, obviously we would have additional concerns. One concern that we have right now is that, remember when we received Section 18 disposition approval to demolish Dosker Manor? Typically, when you get that approval, getting tenant protection vouchers to replace the unit is pretty automatic. It's pretty quick. So we submitted our application, our request for TPVs to the HUD field office in September, and unfortunately, we did not get those prior to the shutdown. So we are currently working on submitting an emergency request to receive those TPVs during the shutdown. There's an FAQ about the shutdown that says that TPV emergency requests will be processed during the shutdown, but we cannot find somebody at HUD that is there to answer our email. We keep trying different people that in shutdowns past were there who are not there. So we're currently working on that. So the reason that we're requesting emergency TPVs there is because we have a lease up schedule for our project-based voucher program with developers who are ready to move people in, including Dosker relocatees. And we need to fund those vouchers with these TPVs. So right now, that's my biggest concern. And you've seen in our audit finance committee, we already had to adjust our budget projections because the TPVs were later than expected. And now they're later still. So that's not great financial news for the authority. More to come on that. I'll let you know if we find somebody to answer our query. With the rest of our time, I just wanted to give an update on our operational assessment that I dug into with you all last month. Commissioner Beck was asking specifically about the things that we were putting in place and how those relate to the major themes that AMA picked up on as they worked with our property management, maintenance, and capital improvements teams. So just as a reminder, this was a third-party assessment that looked primarily at the public housing side of our operations, but they really did a wide view of our entire agency. So because that was so helpful and it's so important that we listen to this feedback and take action on it, I wanted to dig a little bit deeper. The key themes, as a reminder again, were about our vision and strategic alignment, organizational structure and accountability, operational efficiency and standardization, culture and communication, workforce planning and succession, and resident experience and property standards. So let's break these down in buckets. I kind of bucketed them out thematically and also by which teams are responsible for carrying them out. So under vision and strategic alignment, as well as our overall organizational structure and accountability, that really falls with my department, the executive team, and leadership. So the needs that they identified were understanding our mission and strategy, making sure all teams have that understanding and alignment. Then further understanding how each staff member contributes to that mission and vision, and then ensuring that we have accountability structures in place. So what we're working on there, we have our first quarterly all-staff strategic meeting coming up next week. You all are welcome to join that. We'll have one session for our maintenance, property management, CID, and security teams, another session for the Section 8 side and the headquarters team here. So what we're going to do is really break down who we are, how we got here, and where we're going. We're working to update our strategic plan. And I also wrote here who's responsible for it so we know that we can hold each other accountable. So Jalen is putting together those strategic meetings. And are we still going with the video to launch the campaign? Okay. So I think I talked about this last time. We're looking to launch an internal campaign called Would I Live Here? Just ensuring that all staff are connected to our properties and understand how their work relates to our residents, and ensuring that we have high standards that are consistent across all of our properties. Again, if it's not good enough for us, if it's not good enough for our families, why is it good enough for our residents? Sarah is working on updating our strategic plan. You remember we launched our strategic plan this spring. It was pretty broad and pretty general, so we're really looking to drill down on deliverables there. And then ensuring our workflows hold teams accountable. Our deputy executive directors are working, we reorganized our teams under our deputy executive directors a few months ago. And now we're working to make sure that all of our processes flow seamlessly across departments. And we'll have an example of that here in a little bit. Moving on to culture and communication, as well as workforce planning and succession. This obviously includes the leadership team that's responsible for this and our human resources department. The needs identified were probably the largest amount of needs were identified in these buckets. We need a staffing analysis. We have to move towards better discipline and accountability at all levels of staffing and in each department, succession planning, better alignment and compensation, and job description audits to make sure they're up to date with what we need to be doing now, and that folks understand what their role is and what the expectations are. So where we are, we brought in a new HR director. So this is his first board meeting. I introduced Fred Mendoza. You want to wave and say hi? A lot of hopes and dreams. Fred's got hopes and dreams. Welcome, Fred. He's doing great already. He's already really handled a lot of things. We are working on a new employee handbook and a culture code that really explains what is acceptable behavior. And we are going to launch that by the end of the year. That's under review now by our HR team and the deputy executive directors, so that there is no question what's acceptable here and what is not acceptable here. We're also working on a revised performance management system that will also be launched by the end of the year. We are getting trained in change management. That's going to happen in November. Jalen, HR, and the deputy executive directors, potentially others as well, will take part in that. And then, as I mentioned, the Would I Live Here campaign is going to help folks understand why we're here, what we're doing, and what we need to be doing better. Okay, moving on to operational efficiency and standardization, as well as resident experience and property standards. So the things that are were identified was we need to update our property management processes and procedures. There were some things that kind of got off track during COVID and just over the years. So we need to tighten those up. We want to have clear unit quality standards. We have to clear our work order backlog, and we need site-specific preventative maintenance schedules. So right now we have such a backlog of work orders and emergencies that we have been unable to have regular preventative maintenance schedules, which obviously further deteriorates our properties. So the capital improvements team is working with maintenance to get a handle on those. And we might need to come to you all for additional support to kind of surge contractors and surge additional resources to just like knock some of these backlogs out. And so what are we doing? As I mentioned, the DEDs are working on new workflows. What do I mean by that? Well, here's an example. So right now we have a large number of vacancies in our portfolio, just existing vacancies. Some of them have been vacant for a very long time. We know that we're not getting rents, obviously, for those units that are vacant. We're also not getting funding from HUD for units that are vacant. So that's a huge cost to the agency. It is very difficult to stay on top of that. We also know that because we have such a huge backlog of tenant arrears, we need to evict people so that we can increase our rent collections. But we are in a cycle where we really can't process evictions because we don't have the capacity to turn those vacant units over. So when you drill down into the vacant unit turnover process, there are gaps in communications between departments to make those units turn over faster. So we have to have really clear processes and clear communication between site maintenance, the vacancy prep team, and the on-site property management team. So there's just a lot that we need to kind of untangle and then rebraid together. All of this will be better managed in Yardi. We talked about Yardi already today. we implemented Yardi years ago. We're now getting, under Camille's leadership, we are working to really utilize all of the modules in Yardi to make sure that we're all working together and that it's not so painful every time you have to do something. The DEDs are also working on key performance indicators based on the new workflows. And we are now, I think it launched today, the same group that did the overall review of our public housing side is now drilling down into our compliance team, so that we have a compliance team that is, fully prepared. They have all the tools they need to make sure that they're checking through quality control. I think that's it. And then just one quick highlight here, quick highlight reel. I wanted to make sure you all knew that at Dosker Manor, there are fewer than 100 residents remaining on site.
That's good.
Thank you. Our relocation team said that the number that doesn't yet have a plan to move is in the 70s. So if we continue at this clip of about 10 to 12 a week, we will absolutely hit our goal of having everyone out of there by the end of the year. Building A is now completely vacant, and you can see the picture. We actually have the fence up securing it so that folks aren't getting in or out. No one's more excited about that than the police chief, because that has been just such a site of very dangerous incidents for a very long time. So we're rocking and rolling there. Do you all have any questions?
I like the happy home.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
happy home.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so
I'm not familiar with that.
What is Happy Home?
Happy Home is a furniture bank that we've partnered with to provide furniture to residents moving out of Dosker. So we refer folks to Happy Home. We receive funding from the mayor's office for, I think originally pest control. And at some point, we kept treating their belongings. And at some point we said, if we really want to make sure they don't bring this infestation with them, we need to get them new furniture. So that's kind of how it started. And then there were so many residents who just don't have everything they need. So Happy Home partnered with us. They help provide gently used furniture and all new bedding and things like that for residents for a very reasonable price for us. But they're running low on supplies because we've done such a great job with the relocation and all these referrals. So we're encouraging folks to visit happyhomefb.org if they're able to donate either money or gently used supplies.
And then I had a question about the slide that you mentioned about the employee handbook and cultural code.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between those two?
So they go together. So the handbook will have all of our updated policies in terms of attendance, progressive discipline, benefits, et cetera. That will all be in one place. The culture code, one of the things we have to do here is reset our culture. So we have a culture that has been very employee focused. And we have a culture that just needs to kind of change and update with the times to move to a place where we're process focused so that we're taking care of both staff and residents. And in this process of change, we see some behaviors that are inappropriate for people that don't understand what's acceptable behaviors at LMHA in 2025. So it's a reset of like our commitment. What is our vision? What is our mission? What's appropriate behavior leading into the policies that enforce that? Does that make sense? Any other questions? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. We appreciate the update. And it's always good to know what our federal government is doing from a financial perspective. Yeah, it helps us all sleep at night, right? And I'm all really excited about the fact that we have less than 100 residents in Dosker Manor. That's amazing. And you're not just doing the housing piece, but you're also helping them with furniture and things like that. See, it's okay to get housed, but if you don't have anything to sit on, if you don't have a bed to sleep in, that's a whole nother situation. So, I love the fact that you have the foresight to put things in place to help our residents. So I must commend you all on that. So thank you so much for your hard work. I know it's taking the whole team to do it all. So thank you all. All right, we're going to move on. That's my little page here.
We're on executive. We need an executive session.
Now we're going to go into we're going to go into our executive session. We are not going to do any official business. in this session, so there will be no decisions made in this session, but we're going to go ahead and adjourn for right now. We'll allow everyone to leave right now, and then we will adjourn later. All right, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Oh, may I have a motion? Why do I forget that motion every time? May I have a motion to go into closed session? May I have a second? All right, everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. I'd like to get that again. Well, I think I'm gonna just, before she does that, I'm gonna put a note.
We're not recording anymore?